Hare Krishna. Welcome to our program. Our speaker of the day is Shriman Gaurang Darshan Prabhu. He has done his master's degree from the prestigious Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Prabhuji is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, who is a senior disciple of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He is also a member of ISKCON Examination Board and takes classes on Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Vaishnav etiquettes. He has written elaborate workbooks on Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, with which the students can dive into intricacies of these great scriptures. He is a compiler of many other educational booklets and magazines, thus helping the seekers of Bhagavad knowledge. In all, he is a living encyclopedia of scriptures preaching the science all over the world, and who is exemplary and lives whatever he preaches. Come, let's hear him and try to imbibe the essence of scriptures as presented by him. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. In the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a beautiful shloka that describes 6 qualities of Krishna. Saundaryam lalanali dhairya dalanam leela rama stambhini Viryam kandukitadrivarya mamalat pare parardham gunah Sheelam sarvajanaanuranjanamaho yasyayam asmat prabhar Vishvam Vishwajanina Kirtiravatat Krishno Jagan Mohana. Saundaryam Lalanali Dhairya Dalanam. Krishna, with his Saundarya or physical beauty, Lalanali Dhairya Dalanam, he subdues the patience of all beautiful gopis of Vrindavan. Krishna attracts the minds of women. Saundaryam lalanali dhairya dalanam. Krishna is not attractive only to the gopis, he is attractive to men also. He is also attractive to himself. Saundaryam lalanali dhairya dalanam. Leela rama stambhini. Second quality is, with all his leelas, Krishna even astonishes goddess of fortune. Rama stambhini. Seeing the beautiful enchanting leelas of Krishna, even goddess of fortune Lakshmi also gets surprised, amazed, astonished. Third, Saundaryam lalanali dhairya dalanam leela rama stambhini Viryam kandukitadrivarya mamalat. Viryam, Krishna's strength is so great that he can lift Govardhana mountain with just one hand and place it on his little finger of left hand and hold it for 7 days and 7 nights continuously. That is the power of Krishna. That is the strength of Krishna. Viryam kandukitadrivarya mamalat means Krishna will lift Govardhan mountain as if a small child lifts a ball to play. Pare parardham gunaha. Guna means qualities. The qualities of Krishna are unlimited. He has unlimited good attributes. Pare parardham gunaha. Sheelam sarvajananuranjanamaho. Sheelam, the fifth aspect is Krishna's character. That character of Krishna is sarvajana anuranjanam. It is very pleasing to every single person. All the personalities within the universe get spontaneously attracted to the character of Krishna, if only they get exposed to these wonderful qualities of Krishna. Sheelam sarvajananu ranjanamaho yasyayam asmat prabhur. These are the great attributes of our Prabhu Krishna. Sheelam sarvajananu ranjanamaho yasyayam asmat prabhur Vishvam Vishwajanina Kirtiravatat Krishno Jagan Mohana. Vishwam Vishwajanina Kirtir means Krishna's Kirti or glories are the real life of the entire universe. They purify the universe, they beautify the universe, they animate the universe. The sustenance of the entire universe is dependent on the glorious position of Krishna. Krishno Jaganmohana. Krishna is very attractive to the entire universe. These are the 6 qualities of Krishna. His Saundarya, his Leela, his Virya, his strength, his Guna qualities, his character and his Kirti, his glories. Thus, Krishna's attributes are divine, spiritual and eternal and transcendental beyond this material world. Now, we will discuss a very beautiful, enchanting episode in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. That section is called Venu Gita, or the glorification of Krishna's flute song. The gopis of Vrindavan gathered together and they started glorifying the song of Krishna's flute, and that is called Venu Gita. It's a very enchanting episode in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and Sukadeva Goswami narrated this enchanting episode with great ecstasy. The gopis of Vrindavan gathered in groups and they were able to hear Krishna's flute song, although Krishna went into the forests of Vrindavan along with the cowherd boys and the cows. They were able to hear that flute song of Krishna, and they started discussing how that flute chanting is so enchanting, how it is attractive to all the cows, peacocks, deer and rivers and trees and birds of Vrindavan. This description of this Venu Gita comes just after Sukadeva Goswami described monsoon in Vrindavan. In monsoon, Krishna performs so many beautiful pastimes. During the rainy season, Krishna takes all the cows and the gopas into the forest, and whenever there is rain, Krishna would enter the caves of Govardhan and he would reside there for a while, and after the rain goes away, he comes out and then he takes all the cows for grazing. So like that, Krishna performs so many activities in monsoon, and after describing Krishna's activities in monsoon, Sukadeva Goswami describes Krishna's activities in autumn season. Autumn comes just after monsoon, and the most exciting activity of Krishna in autumn season is playing of flute. So Krishna plays flute in Mallava Shri Raga. There are different tunes, different ragas, and Krishna plays Mallava Shri Raga in the autumn season so that it fits the season's ambience. The autumn season is so beautiful in Vrindavan just because just after monsoon, entire Vrindavan is filled with green plants and shrubs and bushes and grasses. It's like the earth's surface is covered with a green carpet. So atmosphere is green, and because the rainy season ended, the rains stopped pouring down, and there were some mild drizzles now and then in autumn season. So all the mud in the water reservoirs that settled down, that is slowly settling down, and there were only mild rains of autumn that is kind of cleaning the water reservoirs, and very beautiful water flowers like lilies and lotuses started blooming, and all the plants in Vrindavan started generating some flowers, and the entire ambience of Vrindavan was filled with lot of greenery and flowers and fruits, and the birds started chirping so sweetly. Early in the morning, Krishna would go along with his lunch boxes, along with all the cowherd boys, and all the cows and calves were accompanying him. So Krishna would enter the Vrindavan forest. Then Krishna starts playing his flute, and this ambience is so enchanting that Krishna plays the flute so skillfully that Krishna's flute song blends with the natural sounds that are occurring in the atmosphere. So there were winds, very cool breezes in autumn season. So these breezes are making some little sound, and all the plants and trees were moving very slowly, very gently, and also the birds were chirping and the water reservoirs were making some sound. The flow of water is making very pleasant sound, and the wind blowing is making some sound. Birds are chirping, that is making some sound, and all the boys and the cows were walking. At that time Krishna started playing his flute, and his flute sound just blended with all these natural sounds in the atmosphere. As Krishna is so skillfully playing the flute, the gopis could hear that flute. Vrajastris, the women of Vrindavan, the gopis of Vrindavan, they have heard Ashritya, they have heard the flute song of Krishna, that is Venugeetam. After hearing that song, Kaschit Paroksham Krishnasya Swasakhibhyo Anvavarnayan. In the absence of Krishna, they went to other gopis and they started describing that flute song to the gopis. So how was that song? Sukadeva Goswami very beautifully describes. Barha Pedam Natavaravapoh Karnayor Karnikaram Bibhradvasaha Kanaka Kapisham Vaijayantim Chamalam Randhran Venoradhara Sudhaya Purayan Gopa Vrindair Vrindaranyam Swapada Ramanam Pravishad Gita Kirti. Sukadeva Goswami says, Barha Pedam, Krishna was wearing a beautiful, resplendent, shining peacock feather. Barha Pedam Natavara Vapuhu. Krishna is looking like a drama artist. He has this bluish body with yellowish garments, with a peacock feather on his head. He is playing flute. He was looking like a drama artist. And Mother Yashoda also decorated Krishna with very nice ornaments and flowers. He was looking so resplendent. Barha Pedam Natavara Vapuhu Karnayor Karnikaram. Krishna is wearing a karnika flower towards his ear, below his right ear. Sometimes he would wear below his left ear also. Karnayor Karnikaram Bibhradvasaha. His cloth was so shining as if it is lightning. The color of Krishna's cloth is yellowish like lightning in the cloud. Bibhradvasaha Kanaka Kapisham. The cloth has golden hue, Krishna's dhoti. Kanaka Kapisham Vaijayantim Chamalam. Krishna is also wearing a beautiful Vaijayanti garland which is made of 5 kinds of forest flowers. Vaijayantim Chamalam. Randhran Venor Adhara Sudhaya Purayan. He is also playing the flute as he was entering the forest of Vrindavan. He was filling the holes of the bamboo flute with the nectar of his lips, and that is making such beautiful sounds. Randhran Venor Adhara Sudhaya Purayan Gopa Vrindair Vrindaranyam Swapada Ramanam. Along with all the gopas, with his beautiful lotus feet, Krishna is entering the forest of Vrindavan. And Krishna does not wear even slippers. He does not have any shoes as he is entering Vrindavan forest, because Krishna is imprinting all the lands of Vrindavan, all the streets of Vrindavan and forests of Vrindavan with his auspicious footprints. Vrindaranyam Swapada Ramanam Pravishad Gita Kirtihi. And all the other gopas were also singing Krishna's glories. Krishna's flute song and the gopas glorification and the winds that are blowing, cool breezes, and the fragrance that is emanating from the autumn flowers. So that created a very wonderful sensation in Vrindavan. It is so pleasing to the eyes to behold Krishna's form. It is so pleasing to the ears to hear his flute song, and it is so pleasing to the sense of touch that these cool breezes are coming. And it is so pleasing to the nostrils that these fragrances in Vrindavan are entering the nose holes of people. So thus it is pleasing to all senses. Sarvendriya Gunanjanam. Seeing Krishna is so pleasing to all the senses. If only one sees Krishna with sincerity, with love, with devotion. So Sukadeva Goswami described this beautiful attire in which Krishna enters Vrindavan. Hearing this beautiful enchanting flute of Krishna, all the gopis gathered together. इति वेणुरवं राजन् सर्वभूतमनोहरं श्रुत्वा व्रजस्त्रियः सर्वा वर्णयन्तोऽभिरेभिरे. Iti Venuravam Rajan, hearing this Venurava, the song of Krishna's flute, Sarva Bhuta Manoharam, and this flute song is attracting the minds and hearts of every single human being and every single animal and bird and every living entity. Sarva Bhuta Manoharam, cows are attracted to this flute, gopis are attracted to this flute, gopas are attracted to this flute, birds and animals are also attracted to this flute. Everybody is attracted, even rivers are attracted, calves are attracted. Shrutva vrajastriyaha sarva varnayanto bhire bhire. Hearing this beautiful flute song, the vrajastris, the gopis of Vrindavan, started describing it with great love and affection by gathering in small groups. The gopis started narrating Krishna's flute song. Sri Gopya Uchuhu Akshanvatam Phalamidam Naparam Vidamaha Sakhyah Pashun Anviveshayatorvayasyi Vaktram Vrajesha Sutayoranavenu Justam Yairvani Pitamanurata Katakshamoksham. The gopis are saying, Akshanvatam Phalamidam Naparam Vidamaha. We do not know any other purpose of having eyes. Akshanvatam, aksha means eyes. Akshanvatam phalam idam. The purpose of having eyes is this. Na param vidamaha. We don't know any other purpose for possessing eyes. What is that purpose that they are describing? Sakhyah pashun anuviveshayator vayasyaihi. When Krishna is entering the forest of Vrindavan along with his sakhas, his cowhead boyfriends, and also cows, he is playing flute. That scene of Krishna's entrance into the forest of Vrindavan is the object of everybody's vision. The purpose of having eyes is to see this scene in Vrindavan. So, the gopis are saying, Sakhyah pashun anuviveshayator vayasyaihi Vaktram vrajesha sutayor anavenu justam yairva nipita manurakta katakshamoksham. Vaktram, Krishna is having such a beautiful face. Vrajesha tanayor anavenu justam. The gopis were saying that Krishna and Balaram, Vrajesha means the king of Gokul, that is Nanda Maharaj. Vrajesha Sutayor means two sons, Krishna and Balaram. These two sons, this Krishna and Balaram, they are going into the forest along with the cowhead boys and along with the cows, and they are playing flutes. Seeing them is the purpose of having eyes. The gopis try to generalize their affection, their specific love for Krishna. They say, Yairva nipita manurakta kataksha moksham. The gopis are saying, Yairva nipita manurakta kataksha moksham. They are saying that this Krishna and Balaram are going into the forest of Vrindavan while playing flutes, and they are looking behind. As they are moving forward, they are turning their faces backward and they are looking at us. Kataksha moksham, they are showering glances of love and affection upon all of us. So, to see them in this way is the purpose of having eyes. Actually, the gopis are trying to generalize their specific love and affection for Krishna. It is Krishna who is playing flute, not Balaram. And it is Krishna who is turning his head and glancing on the gopis, not Balaram. But the gopis are kind of generalizing their affection for Krishna. If they say, oh, Krishna is looking at us, they may be caught. People may think that, oh, we are focusing on Krishna only. That's why they are kind of generalizing. Oh, these boys, they are going, as they are going into the forest, they are looking at us. So, this is very nice scene. They are kind of generalizing. Here, the gopis think that Krishna and Balaram are brothers and they are going into the forest because they are boys. They can go into the forest and herd the cows. But we are girls, we are meant to be staying in the village to do our household activities. We do not have the opportunity to go into the forest and then witness Krishna's activities. So we are deprived of this opportunity. If only we have that opportunity, we will disguise ourselves as boys and then we will enter the forest and see Krishna and Balaram, how they are herding the cows, how they are playing with the other gopas. So they had this desire. And the gopis are saying, Akshanvatam phalamidam naparam vidamaha. We don't find any other purpose for having eyes. The purpose of having eyes is only to see Krishna. Now, is this the purpose of the eyes of the gopis only? The gopis are saying, this is the purpose of anyone who has eyes. The men also should see Krishna, women also should see Krishna, gopas should see Krishna, gopis should see Krishna, cows and calves and peacocks and monkeys, every single living being who has eyes on his face, he should be seeing Krishna and she should be seeing Krishna only and no one else. Here sometimes some elders might notice this young gopis seeing Krishna, who is another boy in the village. They might become strict with these girls, strict with these gopis. So the gopis are saying that, oh elders, don't find fault in us that we are seeing Krishna, we are looking at a boy in Krishna, another boy. So don't blame us. We are saying that the purpose of our eyes is to see Krishna, and we are also saying that the purpose of your eyes is also seeing Krishna, because Krishna is the supreme object of vision. The longing or the hankering of eyes is completely satisfied only when we see the beauty of Krishna's form. Similarly, if we also can see the beauty of Krishna's form when he manifests in the form of a deity, every day we go in front of the deities and take darshan of Krishna, that will have a very purifying effect on our consciousness. The purpose of having eyes is to see Krishna, because Krishna is the supreme object of our vision. The gopis are declaring this very emphatically. The purpose of having eyes is to see Krishna, and this statement is true for every single living being, not only us. Hare Krishna.
For more such devotional programs, please watch Hare Krishna television. To get this channel, please contact your cable or DTH operator. For more information, please call 8767 845 845.